So in the middle is my waking up app. That's the Sam Harris meditation app. If you are going to get into mindfulness ever as a Christian, I really recommend his approach because his stuff is secular. And so he's generally unspiritual, although he touches on it sometimes. So I recommend subscribing, going through his intro class of 50 and then stopping. That's what I'm now doing. And I'm going to start making use of some other things. The Oak app here is pretty decent for breathing exercises and just timing your mindfulness, your resiliency. But it is, I can't really speak to the quality of the guided stuff on that. Melly is my new friend here, the panda bear. Melly's fun, although it's still super Buddhist, but you get this like little screen with like little animals and little river, and then you can like build on it. It's gamifying the breathing, but basically it's a lot of breathing. So you can set as one of my favorite ones. Breathe in for 4, breathe out, or hold for 7, breathe out for 8, and you can set that to time. For a certain amount of time, you get this little animal that sits on the screen while you do it. You get the points that let you build. So that house, I built the house. Where is it? There's the house. Although they called it a temple, but that's my house. Anyhow, this was all attempting to get to. So those are my resiliency apps I had been using. But then I knew I had a link to something, and then I couldn't. That link had disappeared. But I knew it was out there. That there are these apps that are using brain science and the development of the study of things like Alzheimer's to create tools for strengthening your cognitive resources to prevent cognitive degenerative disease. And they are they work. Like they're shown to work. So if you really want to read up on it, go. Oh, come on. I should have a way to do, where's that window? You want to go Google, I'm going to try to put it on the screen so that you can, it's hiding. That's why, overlay. Let's do it here. That's not right. Can I just make one? There's got to be an easier way to do this. I'm not very prepared. I'm going to remember what we're talking about, though. God, no, here, that's why. It's right there. Yeah. If you Google, I'm going to spell it wrong, too, because neuro is a hard word to spell. Google NeuroRacer and read up on what NeuroRacer is. You can't get it, which is really frustrating to me. They sold the technology to a company, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it's pretty sweet. Although, then, these other apps, they purport to be doing similar kinds of things. So you got Lumosity is the orange one. You can't resume, it's too close to my camera. Lumosity is the orange one. I'll put these on the screen with words in a moment. Peak is the one in the middle with the notification on it. And then you got Elevate there. I spent probably an hour and a half yesterday morning going through the opening tutorial of all of these. Let's see if I can multitask. Nope, I can't. Lumosity, Peak, and Elevate. Going through the opening tutorials of these. And by and large, let's see here, Peak and Lumosity are more or less the same thing. And they're both pretty sweet. You have it. Oh, I should say this. It's all gamified. The whole thing is little mini games you play on your phone for 15 minutes a day, and there's about 5 games they'll take you through a day. It's a regiment. Then it begins recommending various games to improve those cognitive things you can't do. So I think my favorite game I played was on Lumosity, and it was these trains. So you had this train house up in the corner, and colored trains would come out of it, and you had like 5 or 6 little train depots that were the right colors for the trains, and you had to get them to go to it. But you had a number of switches that were going on, and they didn't all line up. So you were like sitting there with your thumb, like hitting the switches and trying to track the colors and see where it's going to go. And it was hard, and it was a game, but it was then working on remembering while keeping attention on other things all at the same time, which is as a tool, right? Trying to keep your brain sharp. However, having said that was my favorite game, Lumosity was not my favorite app. I think my favorite app, and that's the thing, Lumosity and Peak more or less do the same thing, same kind of games. Lumosity, from what I can see, but I got to look at it again. You basically have to pay the subscription to do it, and you get a free trial, 14 days or whatever, and then subscribe or else. Whereas Peak, it seems, I could be wrong about this though. I still got to look at it, but Peak, it would seem you have a free version you can use that's limited, but you can keep using it. I like free. Free is nice. Because subscriptions just add up, right? And I want my kids to use this. I want my wife to use this. Like at $8 a month for 7 people. Jeez. Although I also just discovered that you can share some things on if iTunes Family or whatever. I don't know if these apps will work. I really hope so. That'd be cool. But then I really want Elevate. But because it's so different. Because Elevate was literally math and language. It was like gamifying the SAT. I don't know if you're too young, you took the ACT or whatever. Gamifying the test without it really feeling too much like the test, but it was some of the same sort of stuff. So you were having to you had like these bubbles with like 2/3 over here and 66% over there, and then another number over here, and you had to figure out, which ones were the same number. That was hard. Not the 2/3 66, but man, that one got hard fast. Also, all of these apps, they respond to your strength, right? So at whatever level you're able to go, it'll real time up and down the difficulty to push you. It's so cool. I'm actually so that was finding these again, and then testing them out. I'm gonna keep testing them out. And right now Peak is in the lead, but Elevate, the stuff that you were able to do with math,